Good afternoon, Belize. It's midday and you're tuned in to the news at noon, where we bring you the latest updates from around the country. I'm Isani Cayetano, and here's what's making headlines today. Ex-diplomat accused of years-long sexual abuse appears in court. Watch out for royal honey, Health Ministry issues warning. Warning signs, Belize's trade and consumer sentiment slides in April. And gun board fires back after dealer criticizes licensing process. These stories are coming up in just 1 minute.
Every night, I bring you the stories that matter, delivering the facts with professionalism and heart. As an anchor, my goal is to keep you informed, connected, and engaged with the world around us. But the news isn't just about the headlines. I'm Sabrina Daly, and each week we look on the bright side with stories that inspire, uplift, and celebrate the strength of our community. Join me every night as we uncover stories that inform, inspire, and connect us. I am News 5.
Welcome back. This morning, former Belizean Ambassador Alexis Rossado is once again facing the courts. Rossado, who once represented Belize on the international stage, including as co-agent in the country's legal battle at the International Court of Justice, is now at the center of a serious criminal proceeding. The former diplomat stands accused of rape and multiple counts of sexual abuse. The charges stem from allegations made by a woman who claims Rossado engaged in unlawful sexual activity with her, beginning when she was just 13 years old, continuing until she was 27. The accusations surfaced in December 21, prompting months-long investigation by the Belize Police Department and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Rossado was formally charged in April 2022 with a total of 8 offenses, including 1 count of rape, 1 count of sexual assault, and 6 counts of aggravated assault of an indecent nature. He was arraigned in the Belmopan Magistrates Court and granted bail. Today's court session marks a preliminary inquiry, a critical step in the judicial process to determine whether there is sufficient evidence for the case to proceed to trial in the Supreme Court. The matter had previously been before the Magistrates Court, but was elevated due to the indictable nature of the charges. Rossado has maintained his innocence. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is warning the public about a product called Royal Honey, which is being sold as a natural sexual enhancement supplement. But don't be fooled, health officials say it's anything but natural. According to the ministry, Royal Honey contains hidden ingredients that could be dangerous, especially for people with health conditions or those taking medication. Some of the side effects include headaches, heartburn, hearing loss, and in rare cases priapism, a painful long-lasting erection that can cause serious injury if not treated. Despite these risks, the product is easy to find. A quick search on Facebook Marketplace shows it's being sold for just $10 a pack, and it's reportedly in high demand, especially among men. The ministry is urging everyone to be cautious and avoid buying health products from unverified online sellers. Just because something is labeled natural doesn't mean it's safe.
This is the Royal Honey, the ultimate power source that the Ministry of Health is warning Belizeans about, and we're about to open it to see what's inside. Again, this is all for news and demonstration purpose. We don't intend to consume it. And so when you open the pack, well, it's okay, there it is. It's a honey-like material. Should I venture to smell it? I don't know if we'll get effects from just the smell. And this is what it actually smells like, honey. And this is what people would put in their drinks. Some people would put it on food, and some people would just consume it directly. There are several questions that we are seeking to answer throughout the course of the day. One, how does these products get into the country? Who supplies them? What measures are in place legislatively or policies against these types of products? And if you take them and there's some adverse or negative effects, who do you blame? Who do you reach out to for some sort of relief or compensation, if that's even the case? Who is held responsible?
The latest figures from the Statistical Institute of Belize paint a sobering picture of the country's economic pulse. In April 2025, Belize's total imports dropped by 16%, falling from $263.8 million in April 2024 to $221.5 million this year. The decline was driven by reduced imports in nearly every major category, from food and live animals to machinery, beverages, and even mineral fuels. Meanwhile, domestic exports also took a hit, plunging by nearly 22%. Sugar, one of Belize's top export earners, saw revenues fall by over $8 million despite a bulk shipment. Molasses, bananas, and citrus products also recorded notable declines. The only bright spot, red kidney beans and marine products like lobster tails and conch, which saw modest gains. And it's not just trade that's trending downward. The Consumer Confidence Index for April 2025 dropped to 47.7, down from 49.6 in March. That's a 3.8% dip, signaling growing pessimism among Belizeans about their current financial situation and the broader economy. The decline was felt across all three major components of the index. Present conditions fell to 45.9, expectations for the future dipped slightly to 57, and confidence in making major purchases like homes or appliances slipped to 40.3. Interestingly, only the Toledo district reported an increase in consumer confidence, while Stan Creek saw the sharpest drop. Rural areas were hit harder than urban ones, and women and younger adults reported the steepest declines in sentiment. So, what does this all mean? With both trade and consumer confidence on the decline, the data suggests a cautious outlook for Belize's short-term economic growth. But as always, the numbers are just one part of the story, and we'll be watching closely to see how the months ahead unfold. The Firearms and Ammunition Control Board is pushing back after a local gun dealer accused them of making it too hard for law-abiding citizens to get a gun license. In a recent interview with News 5, Belmopan-based dealer Abner Murillo claimed the board had created impossible hurdles, including a new requirement for applicants to show two forms of ID. But the board says that it's simply not true. Only one valid ID is needed. In a statement, the board defended the process, saying it's committed to public safety, transparency, and fairness. It also acknowledged that people in rural and remote areas may face extra challenges when applying, and said it's aware of those concerns. Adding another layer to the story, the board confirmed that Murillo has taken legal action against them. We sat down with Murillo for an extended interview to hear more about his side of the story. Here's what he had to say.
When it comes to instructors, I'm an NRA certified instructor in the U.S. I can teach mostly anywhere in the U.S. But what they did, and I don't want to go too much into detail but they are victimizing certain people and they're cherry picking certain people. We have an instructor that teaches out of Lock and Loaded, but it's not myself. There's about 4 instructors or 5 instructors, somewhere around that, to teach our population. What's our population at right now? The last time I checked, it was 400,000. I think it's between 400,000 to 500,000. So you have about 100,000 people per instructor. Does that make sense to you? And there's a lot of qualified instructors in the country. They've taken away, they've revoked licenses. When it went from the police department and they took over, it wasn't a new application for new instructors. They should have honored everything that was already established. But they came and they started taking away, revoking licenses left, right, and center. They've revoked a lot of licenses for myself with no justification, no kind of explanation, and it just seems like I'm gonna benefit this one and I'm gonna victimize this one. That's how it feels.
That's a wrap for the news at noon. But don't worry, there's plenty more coming your way at 6 p.m. We'll dive deeper into these stories and more. In the meantime, visit greaterbelize.com and follow us on Facebook for real-time updates. And don't miss Open Your Eyes tomorrow morning for fresh takes on today's headlines. Thanks for tuning in, Belize. Stay informed, stay inspired, and have a fantastic afternoon.
Veracidad, imparcialidad.
Hemos estado haciendo el trabajo como organización.
Y tus noticias en español.
Están en aguas beliceñas, entonces esta bandera se queda aquí.
Sintoniza Canal 5 cada viernes a las 7 de la noche.
Tenemos que resolver los grandes problemas de este país.
Su voz importa, su acción cuenta.
Transfusión sanguínea, elementos que indican un deterioro evidente del estado de salud.
Somos Noticiero 5 Semanal.
Perdió la vida en un heroico intento de proteger a su hermano. El Tribunal de Magistrados de la ciudad de Belice se paralizó. La policía está investigando 2 asesinatos separados.
Tu fuente de información.